kick this off. Corey Williams is back, so is Nick Dembski. A Winnipeg native gets his first touch and he gets rocked downfield quickly. And Darian Durant is back and he's healthy.
Well, no doubt about the fact that the Saskatchewan Roughriders go as their quarterback goes. 8-2 last season when Durant went down and struggled mightily without him. He's back 100%. It's been a journey, but number 4 in green is ready to roll.
Torn tendon in his right elbow against these Winnipeg Blue Bombers back in September. Missed 9 games. Told us yesterday he is 100%. First pass. And he has the receiver. And here are our starters to watch.
Well, we talked a little bit about the Bombers' rebuilt offensive line. We'll have more on them, but the Riders had to do some rebuilding as well. Dan Clark replaces Dominic Picard, the veteran, at center. American Levy Adcock has the tough task of replacing Ben Heenan at right tackle. It'll be up to the 2-time All-Star guard Brendan Labatt to hold down the fort.
Spencer Moore, the first reception, and now the rush. It's an offside call. Blue Bombers, Jamal Westerman. Keep in mind, he's been playing in the National Football League, the brother of Jabbar Westerman, who plays with the BC Lions. Jamal played with 5 NFL teams, 58 games played. Born in Brooklyn, but really grew up in the Brampton, Ontario native.
Winnipeg number 55.
We chatted with him yesterday. He talked about the difference, that yard off the ball, but this is a guy who's got a very quick motor.
Yeah, no question, one of the all-time sack leaders during his career at Rutgers. A different player than his little brother, Jabbar. Jabbar, a defensive tackle, plugging away on the inside. Jamal more of a pass rush guy from the edge.
Riders finished the season 10-8. Lost in the West Division semifinal. Durant on 2nd and 1. Will hand it up the middle. And Anthony Allen, who had a breakout last year with the Roughriders, has the first down. They'll move the sticks.
As we look at the Bombers defense, they're going to rely a little bit on a couple of new Canadians. We mentioned Westerman, and that college resume also added 6 sacks as an NFL journeyman. Sam Hurl is going to be key at the middle linebacker spot, the former Rough Rider, the starter there. And Chris Randall moves from corner down to strong side linebacker. He's going to be a key. He's played that position before during his time with Calgary.
And Richie Hall, the former defensive coordinator here in Saskatchewan, has moved east to Winnipeg. He's now in charge of the Blue Bombers attack and how they will stop the green and white. Allen gets another touch here.
Richie Hall making that move across the prairies. Of course, the Bombers had all sorts of trouble last year stopping the run. You cannot compete in the CFL's West Division if you can't run the ball and if you can't stop the ground game.
2nd down and 5 from the Saskatchewan 40-yard line. First drive of the game, opening game for the Blue Bombers and Riders. Out to the far sideline. Matt Butler makes the tackle on Rob Bagg. What a great year Rob Bagg had last year. Almost 1,000 yards, up near 800. 3 touchdowns, and really the go-to guy for the Riders a year ago.
Rob Bagg in his typical spot. He's a wide side wideout. He's a much bigger part of the offense here in Saskatchewan than that position typically is on most teams. Proven veteran, as you said, very busy guy last year. Great rapport with his quarterback, Darian Durant.
You'll see a lot of number 9, Nick Dembski, in the game as well today. Weston Dressler not dressed for the Riders. Undisclosed injury. Out of the backfield's Jerome Messam, rumbling on the far sideline, close to the first down marker.
We take a look back. Mid-season last year, we talked about that injury. Bryant Turner delivered the hit on Darian Durant that led to the elbow injury that ended his season. Long road back, really took him until about February before he really felt he could make all the throws he needed to make to be able to play here in 2015.
2nd down and 4. Loads up the left side and hands it off up the middle. Looks like they're going to be short of a first down here. Once again, it was Anthony Allen, the former Georgia Tech star.
Oh, we've seen lots of Anthony Allen here early. You saw Jerome Messam on the previous play catching the football. Be a steady dose of these two big backs for the Saskatchewan Roughriders offensively. If they continue to run the ball as they have in the past, and that's not a philosophy that's going to change under new OC Jacques Chapdelaine. They're just going to try and pound it and wear down that Winnipeg front.
So Messam comes back in, 3rd down and 1. And Brett Smith is the short yardage quarterback. 3rd string quarterback. Kevin Glenn is the backup. Back in Saskatchewan to Darian Durant. Here we go. First 3rd down gamble of this ball game. Puts the players in motion. Will take it himself and will get the first down. Brett Smith out of Wyoming, native of Salem, Oregon, spent last year on the Toronto Argonauts practice roster. So Darian Durant returns, literally and figuratively.
When I went down, you know, all type of thoughts went through my head. I was unsure if I'd ever be the same, you know, if my arm would ever regain the strength that I had in the past, because, you know, as a quarterback, it is your moneymaker. It's what keeps you going. So I had a lot of thoughts go through my head, and once I got back to basically normal, it just made me appreciate the game even more.
Well, the moneymaker dishes it out to Allen once again. Tackle by DeJuan Washington, a short gain this time. There was a lot of concern in Saskatchewan, a lot of concern, I'm sure, around Darian Durant, wondering if he would ever come back from a devastating injury last year.
Well, and you look at the impact that it had on the Saskatchewan team once he left last year, and there you see it, the Durant factor. 8-2 with him, 2-6 without him. Obviously, the numbers way down. Didn't matter whether it was the veteran Kerry Joseph or a younger Tino Sinceri or Seth Daggy playing. This is why Kevin Glenn was acquired in the offseason. He's the security blanket.
2nd down and 7. Drive started on the 21. Here's the rush. There goes the football over the top. Was looking for Jamel Richardson, one of the newbies for the Riders this year, but a veteran, of course. Richardson, the former Montreal Alouette All-Star, coming back from injury as well. Bruce Johnson in on the play.
Big things expected here of Jamel Richardson in that receiving corps. Guy who started his career here in green and white, but missed the entire 2014 season and much of 2013 as well.
Ray Early is the punter, and bringing it out, picking his way out, is Justin Velton from Idaho. Will do the returning, and returning for the Blue Bombers, their go-to quarterback last year, Drew Willie, the former Rider, comes back to Regina when we come back. Blue Bombers. Willie used to be the backup here to Darian Durant. Bombers' first series as the Riders ate up the clock. No points, though. Quick hitter finds one of his favorite targets, Clarence Denmark, for 8 yards. For Clarence Denmark, that's a 34-game consecutive streak for receptions.
Well, goal for the Bombers coming into this season was to put Drew Willie in the best possible position to succeed, and that means not on his back. Huge upgrades to the offensive line with Stanley Bryant coming over from Calgary. Number 2 overall pick, Suk Chung out of the University of Calgary at guard, and veteran Dom Picard at center.
2nd and 2. And barreling forward, they have the first down. Michel-Pierre Pontbriand, former Laval star. Here are the starters to watch defensively, and we'll watch big number 97.
Yeah, well, this could become Saskatchewan's version of the Bermuda Triangle. John Chick, of course, the CFL sack leader last season. Alex Hall makes his return after a brief time with the Riders in 2013. A couple of sack masters, and Shea Emery solidifies that middle linebacker spot. 70-plus tackles for the Toronto Argonauts a year ago for him.
Play action, Willie. Strong shot, big shot downfield. Hanging on is Clarence Denmark. We've got flags now and rough stuff. And the rough stuff started early in this game as Macho Harris came a-gunning. And Clarence Denmark somehow, hang on and was able to hang on to the football.
Well, Denmark had just enough time to gather himself after catching this one to know the shot was coming. He got his feet down. But Macho Harris, living up to that nickname, absolutely unloaded.
Unnecessary roughness. Saskatchewan number 3. 15
That headshot is going to cost him another 15. Denmark, the middle slot to the field.
16-yard pickup plus 15, 31 yards on the play.
Well, no shortage of ill will between these teams coming into this ball game. Some of that going back to the Darian Durant injury last year. That hit should heat things up for 2015.
Handed off right side. Paris Cotton, his first touch. And Alex Hall brings him down, and a flag is down on the far side of the field. Ongoing theme early in the season is interpreting some of the new rules that are in play now, of course. Our referee today is Tom Valesi.
That flag well away from the action, thrown on the far side of the field from where the play went.
procedure. No end. Winnipeg. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Talked about the angst and the anger between these two teams. Obviously, proximity is one thing. Long-time rivalry. Look at this before the game. The Blue Bombers, Nick Moore was kind of leading the charge. Now the refs had to come in because they were all chirping at each other, and it started early. There are the Blue Bombers as the Riders made their appearance on field. So I would expect it's going to get a little heated in the heat here today.
Nothing wrong with emotion in the game of football, but it's got to be controlled.
Handing it off to Cameron Marshall, a newcomer at Arizona State, played a game late last season. So it will be second down. Basically got maybe a yard, maybe 2 yards on the play. Bitter rivals, these two. Last year, Saskatchewan swept the Blue Bombers. The Bombers went into tailspin. Started so impressively, 5-1 out of the gate, and then spun out 2-9 to finish.
Big test here for the O-line in an obvious passing situation for Winnipeg.
2nd and 14. Riders loaded up, but they only send 3. Look out now. Willie goes down. Wrapped up, ripped down by John Chick. There's the first of 2015 for the Sackmaster.
And there you're going to see it. 3-man rush. John Chick coming off the edge. No way this should happen with only 3 rushers against 5 blockers. But he ends up singled against Stanley Bryant. Battle of a couple of all-stars. Round 1 goes to Mr. Chick.
Blue Bombers gave up 71 sacks last season. League high, or I guess you could say low. John Chick starts it off. The Green Giant takes down Drew Willie. 0s on the board, 5:42 to go.
Facing Winnipeg, he claims that while he was on the turf, a few of the Bombers taunted his teammates, saying things that you shouldn't say when a player is down. Now, I asked head coach Corey Chamberlain whether he likes that fire that Durant is showing. He says he needs that fire every game and hopes that he keeps it lit for the rest of the season. Guys.
All right, thank you, Lee. Yeah, Darian threw that one at us yesterday, and I'm sure that would lead to some of the hostilities today. There's the man who supplied the hit last year that knocked Darian Durant out of the game and out of the season.
And again, huge loss and a lot of emotion surrounding that, not just for Darian Durant, but for his teammates who obviously strive to protect their quarterback. They're going to take that very personally here facing the Bombers today.
Saw the first incomplete pass. That was to Jamel Richardson. Here's the rush. Now Durant lets it go. He's knocked down, and on the far side again, fighting for yardage once again is Corey Williams, a gain of 7. Williams, the former BC Lion.
And first big contact for Durant as he's dragged down after getting that one away to Williams.
There's the new punter in town for Saskatchewan. Ray Early out of Furman. Spent some time on some NFL rosters. Couldn't make the cut, though. And dropping the football is Justin Velton. 49-yard kick and nowhere to go. Downfield very quickly. Tavon Clark made the stop. First game in Regina for the new commissioner of the Canadian Football League. Visiting Rider Nation, Jeffrey Orridge. Had a chance to be here today, get a look at the new stadium which is being constructed. Drew Willie, his pass is complete. However, that completion to Darvin Adams may be in jeopardy here because there are flags everywhere.
Flags were down early.
Adams, one of the new receivers to the Blue Bombers this year, played with the Argos for 2 seasons. Former Auburn Tiger, used to be a favorite target of Cam Newton when he was there. There's Adams. Part of that revolving door for the Argonauts. How about the Argos today? A win in their first game. Trevor Harris outstanding over the Edmonton Eskimos in Fort McMurray.
We have 3 fouls on the play. Offside, Winnipeg. Offside, Saskatchewan declined. Illegal contact, Saskatchewan. We'll bounce those at the previous line of scrimmage, up 5 yards, repeat first down.
So the offsides are nothing to do with the new rules, but the illegal contact is. We'll talk about that during the game. Only those first 5 yards can a defender jam or touch a receiver. After that, the receiver cannot be touched. One of the rules that the league was trying to bring in to help infuse a little more offense into the game. 1st and 5. Cotton backwards. Check again. Tackle for a loss.
Well, John Check picking up here in 2015, right where he left off a year ago. Quick off the edge and into the backfield to make that play.
Again, working against Stanley Bryant. That time.
Well, that time he's got the puller. Suk Chung, the backside guard, is coming around to get him. Chung just didn't lock onto him well enough.
Suk Chung, penetration. First game for the first-round pick, number 2 overall. So over the top. Pass is caught by Nick Moore. Moore fights for extra yardage down to the 50-yard line of the Riders. A 27-yard pickup, the biggest play so far. 3 minutes to go in this first quarter.
A nice protection supplied by the Winnipeg offensive line here to allow this one to develop. Strike from Willie to Moore on the crosser.
Moore played 9 games with the Bombers last year. 44 catches, over 500 yards, no touchdowns. Willie with twin backs. Now the pistol with Cotton. Play action. Now goes over the middle again. Clarence Denmark again. Mario Norman knocks him out of bounds. One of the concerns for the Riders today defensively, no Tyron Breckenridge. Tyron Breckenridge is out of the lineup. Another undisclosed injury, the all-star free safety. Keenan McDougall in his place has left the game, the Canadian. He's in the locker room with an injury.
That depth getting tested very early on for the Riders. Now they did list 8 Canadians as starters here. By rule, you only have to have 7, so they have a little bit of flexibility with McDougall down. He wasn't playing every snap defensively.
Again, play action, far side. Justin Velton with that reception, his first catch. Velton, the Idaho Vandal. Played some in the National Football League out of Washington. Known for his returns, has his first catch as a Blue Bomber. Justin Velton.
Yeah, diminutive receiver, as you said. Best known as a return man. All-time leader. He's number 2 to the boundary here. Nice dual motion there with Darvin Adams. Create a little bit of confusion for the defender. They end up with a stack motion.
Down near the 12-yard line. Bombers driving. Willie hangs in, throws it. And a penalty flag. First incompletion. Darvin Adams, the intended target, but a flag down on the near side of the field near the goal line.
Illegal contact. Saskatchewan number 20. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Terrell Mays is the guilty party. Again, the 5-yard area.
Here you see locks on, and you can get the hands on for 5 yards, but then you got to let them go. It's really a zero tolerance on this rule. Mays just hung on a little bit too long, making it an easy call for the officials.
90 seconds to go, first quarter. Bombers sniffing the end zone here, and an incomplete pass as the Riders brought the house. Pierre Pomberian came out of the backfield. Nacho Harris was gunning for Drew Willie.
And going zero all the way down here in goal line territory. Nacho Harris trying to time up his blitz. Pressure off both edges for the Riders, forcing Willie to get rid of that one earlier than he wanted.
Big play here. Second and goal. Nobody home, has him, and it's a touchdown. Paris Cotton scores. The Blue Bombers' first touchdown of 2015 from 6 yards out.
A nice job to free up Paris Cotton, releasing from the backfield. He's going to come underneath, so he to the left of the goalpost, stems out, backer over commits, which allows him to cut it back underneath. Shea Emery anticipating the flat route. A nice stem there from Cotton to sell that outside route and then break it back to the inside.
So the point after again this year, they've moved the point after attempt, the kick back, scrimmaging from the 25. So it's a 32-yard point after. Lirim Hairelahu puts it up and converts it. And the Blue Bombers strike first. Impressive drive engineered by Drew Willie. Capped off by Paris Cotton. 7-0.
The running back's release route is going to be out to the flat. That's exactly what Shea Emery was guilty of on that one. Trying to get a jump on the RB. Got beaten to the inside.
Final minute, first quarter. Nick Dembski, the Manitoba Bison. The draft pick for the Saskatchewan Roughriders this year, 6th overall, making his CFL debut. Nice return for Dembski.
Darian Durant getting set to go back to work here as you see Nick Dembski make his way off the field. Little bit of rivalry even on draft day. Saskatchewan Roughriders took a guy Winnipeg wanted, hometown receiver, and Dembski from the University of Manitoba. Bombers turned around and took Addison Richards from the University of Regina.
Quick snap. Anthony Allen takes it. Allen, big gainer here. Inside Winnipeg territory. On the direct snap back to Anthony Allen. 22-yard romp.
And the Bombers defensively allowed themselves to get outflanked very quickly on the front side here. Great block by Xavier Fulton to hook the defensive end on the inside.
Final play, first quarter. Durant now with protection on rolling and overthrows this one on the last play. Quarter one, Blue Bombers score late. Back and forth these two rivals go. Only the Paris Cotton touchdown, the difference on opening night for the Bombers and the Riders in Regina. Season underway, rivalry renewed.
One basically forced, that being the Saskatchewan Roughriders with departures, Ben Heenan, Dominic Picard leaving town, giving them a couple new starters.
Catch made. Darian Durant now 6 for 9. That's Ryan Smith. He's going to get a lot of service with Weston Dressler out of the lineup.
Yeah, and continuing that offensive line thought, of course, for Winnipeg, you just have a case where Their quarterback flat out took too many hits last year, and they knew offensive line needed to be upgraded. One of the things that stood out in those first quarter stats, only 1 rushing yard for the Bombers.
The burly back, Jerome Messam rumbles. Well, we saw Ryan Smith. They called him Weston Dressler 2.0. He hails from North Dakota, and his quarterback likes him.
If you ask me, he had the best camp out of any receiver we had out there. The way he learned the system, the way he would ask questions after meetings and different things like that just showed his hunger to, to perfect the system and to perfect his craft. So he's a guy that I'm definitely looking forward to going out there and working with. He's an explosive player. And, he plays a lot bigger than he is.
Smith takes it to the house. Touchdown, Saskatchewan. On his first touch of the new season, 36-yard, Taj Smith, open field, a cutback, and 6.
Taj Smith comes all the way across the field, left to right. You've got other receivers working to clear things out, creating the rubs. You see Rob Bagg right in the middle of the screen. He's the rub guy. Just sits down and gets in the way of the defender trying to track Taj Smith. Easy drop off for Darian Durant. Smith does the rest.
Big one for Taj Smith. Broke his clavicle in week 14, was shut down for the season. 3 majors last year, his first here in the second quarter in game 1, 2015. Tie ball game in Regina for the touchdown.
Yeah, real nice execution on that play, and Taj Smith, a guy certainly looking to have something of a bounce back year for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Off to a good start with that one.
Again, it's Felton. His first game in the CFL. Behind blocking. Pretty good return up near the 34-yard line. Early here, second quarter, and the Blue Bombers now try to respond.
Now you're going to see 3 key receivers. 1 is Taj Smith, 2 is Messam out of the backfield, 3 is Rob Bagg. If you look at the men trying to cover them, you've got 1, 2, and 3. As the play gets going, Messam's man trying to track him, the linebacker, is actually going to bump the man trying to track Taj Smith. That makes the rub real easy for Rob Bagg on the front side. Absolutely nobody near Taj Smith as he catches that ball. He just has to fight off a couple tackles near the goal line to punch it in for 6.
They also had Messam wide open on the far side too. Paris Cotton shakes one, bursting up the middle, up near the 39-yard line. Newcomer to the linebacking core, Tivon Clark, Greensboro, North Carolina, makes the tackle. This is a team that lost Brian Peters in the last offseason. Shea Emery is the man in the middle now for the Riders.
Both these teams undergoing makeovers at the linebacker position as well. A little bit of inexperience there, which could lead to some big plays for the offenses.
Rush of 4, second and 4, and it's a first down. It's Cotton again, so Paris Cotton making his presence felt so far in this ball game. Pickup of 9 on the play.
Just a quick hitter, and we've seen Cotton involved in the passing game on multiple occasions here in the early going. But I was going to make the note earlier, only 1 rushing yard for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in the first quarter of this ball game. I don't know if that's a pattern you want to fall into against a team that has the pass rushers that the Saskatchewan Roughriders possess.
Winnipeg team that did not run the ball very much. Their offense not very good last season. And now Paris Cotton explodes. Look at him go. And finally Weldon Brown brings him down near the Saskatchewan 40. And Paris Cotton, bulky, tiny guy who has got a great stutter shake.
Again, Cotton just to the left of the goalpost. Check release. He's got the screen set up. Suk Chung, the rookie, does a nice job getting a couple of blocks out in front of him. The One of those plays you add it in and sort of counting your run game, something you do to counteract those upfield pass rushers. Nice job getting the screenplay involved there.
Why not? When in doubt, give it to Paris Cotton. You know, his run totals, he didn't get a chance to play a whole lot for the Bombers, again coming in for Nick Grigsby, but if you put his run totals together, he would have averaged 85 yards per game through a full season and about almost 1,535 yards. So the guy is capable, and he's got a hug from his coach right now, Mike O'Shea.
Yeah, you hope that small sample projects over the long haul for Paris Cotton and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
And a muscular body, just 5'8" though, powerful guy. Now Willie, play action, close to the first down marker, and a penalty flag flies again as Nick Moore hauled it in. Nick Moore, a full season of Nick Moore. He only played in 9 games last year. Should be an asset to this Winnipeg offense. Again, we talked about the numbers. The Blue Bombers just didn't score many points last year, period.
Yeah, they struggled after getting off to that great start. Obviously, a healthy Nick Moore to complement Clarence Denmark would be big.
Illegal interference, blocking downfield before the pass was thrown. Winnipeg number 89, 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
That one's against Clarence Denmark, so they'll repeat second down now. Pushed back to the Saskatchewan 44.5-yard line. Here it is. Passing down, here comes the rush. Willie has time to run, will run, and decides to dive forward. It'll set up third down. They'll bring out their kick team here. Gain of 7. 5 minutes gone here, second quarter.
Roughriders doing a nice job taking things away in terms of the coverage there, mixing things up a little bit on the back end. Forcing Willie to pull that one down.
They'll punt it. Dembski on a great kick from Hairolahu. 35-yard kick, but the direction was perfect. Long field for the Riders when we come back to Mosaic. All day, every day, Corey Chamberlain, his team trying to recapture that pride they had 2 years ago here in Regina when they won the Grey Cup and then dipped last year as Messon throttles forward. It's a first down.
Corey Chamberlain, a tremendous motivator, always has a message, always has a theme. He remains very consistent through the year. See 6-1 for his career as a head coach versus these Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Now they did mark it shy of the first down, so it's 2nd and inches. They'll give it to Anthony Allen to get the first down. Now, again, you know, you talk about the dip the Riders had, but that dip, people say that Grey Cup hangover, they really didn't have a Grey Cup hangover because they came out of the gates 8-2. Yeah, their season got unraveled on September 7th when Darian Durant went down.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the key part, the linchpin. They had made a lot of changes, lost a lot of parts during that offseason. You see Jacques Chapdelaine, the new offensive coordinator.
1st and 10. Durant changes the play. Bombers rush 4. Sends it out to the far flat. Jamel Richardson, perennial all-star with the Alouettes, of course, catching footballs from Anthony Calvillo and so many touchdowns, 52 career touchdowns. Knee injury in 2013. He was out of football last year. Makes his way to Saskatchewan with something to prove.
Yeah, well, and we've seen a number of the veteran receivers, guys who were the perennial 1,000-yard receivers in this league. Richardson, Nick Lewis, Fred Stamps, all on the move this offseason. People talk about the need for more offense in this league. How about the fact that a lot of those guys weren't around last year?
Great point. Raw bag. hauls it in on that far sideline. Pickup of 3 on the play. There's Johnny Adams. He had some time in the National Football League. And a corner that they're watching in Winnipeg. He had a great mini camp. 4 interceptions in 2 days at their mini camp down in Florida. That's why he's here. They make changes in their secondary. Change for punting this year for Saskatchewan's this guy, number 39, Ray Early, out of Darlington, South Carolina. Once again, Velting. Now he finds a seam. Velting finds another. There's a penalty flag down. Now he's taking it all the way. He's going to score. And he flips out into the end zone, but will this come back? You can tell why they like this guy. Idaho's all-time kick return leader might have a touchdown if this goes against the Riders. But I'm not sure it is.
During the return, illegal block. Winnipeg will apply a 10-yard penalty. Point the ball was held when the foul occurred. First down.
So take away the 63-yard touchdown. Catch your breath, young man. We'll catch our breath.
Michel Pierre Pontbriand. You can see very clearly contact made on the back of the shoulder of the Saskatchewan player, bringing the Velting return back.
Sending out all his receivers is Drew Willie. Tight coverage. Nick Moore is able to snare it. It's too bad for the Blue Bombers on that play because really Velting was outside that pursuer, and that would have been a touchdown. There he is, Justin Velting, 23-year-old.
Come on, I'll get one next time, I swear.
All right, Mrs. Velting, he's promising you one. 2nd and 5. Like flag flew, and Darvin Adams actually looked like the Bombers might have lined up even offside early on there. But Bombers are saying that it is against Saskatchewan. We'll wait for Tom Valesi to sort this out.
Offside. Winnipeg number 81. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Yeah, Bombers were lined up. Got a jump right from the beginning.
Yeah, keep an eye on the receiver. Chris Bastian didn't line up for Rory Collard on his motion. He's got to try and come down, come across the formation. He's way too early starting to move across.
Chris Bastian playing in place of Rory Colehart, nicked up in training camp. Colehart not playing for the Blue Bombers. Bastian, a former Roughrider pick. A lot of former players on both sides here. Willie's dancing. Drew Willie escapes. Penalty flag far side. He dives forward. Past the first down marker. The ball's loose. No whistle. Are you kidding me? John Chick takes it to the end zone. Touchdown. Now let's sort this out. Is it a touchdown? A flag on the far side. In fact, 2 flags. The ball was loose after Willie dived forward. Ball got knocked out, and then John Chick went a rumbling.
And I think this one's going to come back because I believe there was contact as Willie dove on that one, which would make him down by contact.
Illegal contact. Saskatchewan number 27. Decline. Illegal contact. Saskatchewan number 38. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Well, CFL fans, get used to that call. Certainly over the next few weeks, as teams grow accustomed to this new rule.
Yeah, and obviously everybody's worked on it a great deal in training camp. The officials on site with all 9 teams working through the new rules. But it's hard to teach old dogs new tricks. Tough to bring in 7 new cover guys on every team. So people are going to be breaking some of those habits.
And you're right, it looked like Willie was down anyway, but they got a first down, and Drew Willie, great escapability there. Harris Cotton's drilled into the turf after a 6-yard gain. The last time Winnipeg got the football, they did punt the football away, and Bomber fans might be curious why they didn't go for a field goal. But as usual here in this stadium, particularly as the sun begins to set here, the wind is starting to blow, and it was right into Lirim Hairalahu's grill. Gusts to 35 here expected tonight.
Yeah, you could see it on a couple of throws to the outside late in the first quarter for Darian Durant. In that wind, it blew them back towards the line of scrimmage.
Willie with time, crossing pattern, hanging on again. Paris Cotton. What a show this guy's putting on so far here tonight. They can't stop him.
Well, Moncho Harris had that big hit on Clarence Denmark to open this football game. He went for another kill shot here on the crosser, Paris Cotton, but didn't get enough of him to impact the back. Cotton going right to left on your screen. Harris went for the collision instead of the wrap up, and it cost him. Cotton 14 yards on the ground, 59, and a touchdown through the air.
Now back to Cameron Marshall out of Arizona State. Cotton catching a breather on the sideline. Great start here tonight for this young man, Paris Cotton, a 25-year-old out of Miami, Florida. Played at Central Michigan and again got some playing time last year with the Blue Bombers. Drive that started at the Winnipeg 35. Blue Bombers offense has been pretty solid here so far tonight.
Second down, Saskatchewan again goes to that 3-man front.
2nd and 7. Willie again out of the pocket and again has a receiver and has a first down. Darvin Adams with a 9-yard pickup down near the 25-yard line. Bombers driving right now. Willie picking apart the Riders. Paris Cotton doing great things. 3-minute warning before halftime. Thank you so much, Rodney. Terrible start for the Eskimos, and certainly news surrounding Mike Riley late in that ball game, leaving the game with injury. Willie jumps up and throws it. Nick Moore jumps up and gets it. Drew Willie, now 10 of 11, almost 130 yards passing and a touchdown.
Well, Trevor Harris, with his performance in the first game of this doubleheader, looked like he was trying to lock up Player of the Week honors. He finished up 24 of 27 for 347 yards. Yeah, Drew Willie, his first half numbers, giving him a pretty good run for his money.
Former star at Buffalo University, broke all the scoring records there and quarterback records. Randolph, New Jersey, and again his second season at the helm with the Blue Bombers. And keep in mind, it all started here in Regina, as he was the guy behind Darian Durant, where he said he learned a lot.
Yeah, no question about that, as we see Willie call for a timeout and head for the sidelines.
Another guy who spent time here in Saskatchewan, Marcel Belfait. The connections are overwhelming between these two teams. I mean, maybe it was just the proximity that they could make trades, or players and coaches could move back and forth so much.
Well, a little deal between these two teams in the offseason. Corey Watson shipped by the Bombers to Saskatchewan for Chris Bastian, who we see playing today. Watson later moved to Edmonton.
1st and 10. And there is Marshall spinning down near the 2-yard line. Blue Bombers continue to eat up the real estate on this drive. A 10-yard gain.
A nice bit of misdirection in the backfield here from the Bombers as they bring the slot from the right side. Going to get that slot motion to make it look like sweep. Meanwhile, Marshall, the running back, is going the other way. He manages to outflank the end. There you see the fake sweep, play action. Nobody's following the running back until it's too late. Cameron Marshall makes the most of that little opening. Fake to Nick Moore, drop off to the back. It's as good as a handoff.
Bombers got a taste of Cameron Marshall. Final week of the season for them last year. He had a couple carries for 15 yards. Shea Emery in his first game with the Roughriders. He was traded to Saskatchewan for Ricky Foley, who went back to Toronto.
What Shea Emery coming from the bottom of your screen, getting in on that tackle. Shook himself up a little bit. Looked like maybe the contact on the shoulder. You saw his head jolt to the left a little bit. Wonder if that may just be a burner for him. Hope it's nothing more serious than that. With Keenan McDougall already out of the lineup for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, losing Emery would put a little bit of a dent in that Canadian depth.
Well, Winnipeg's red zone numbers inside the 20 were not very good last year. Touchdown percentage, 46%. Among the worst in the Canadian Football League. They've been good so far today in the red zone, with 1 touchdown in 1 try, and trying to make it 2 now. Trying to take the lead. Robert Marv behind center. 3 backs. And hands it off, and it's a touchdown for Cameron Marshall. Blue Bombers surge in front. Impressive drive. Capped off by Cameron Marshall.
And they're just going to pound this one in behind the right side of their offensive line. Got the big bodies in. Really just a couple of missed tackle opportunities there for the Saskatchewan defense. Nice drive put together by the Bombers against the wind. 10 plays, 75 yards, ate up 4 minutes and 30 seconds. A little surprised to see them not go for 2, working into the wind here.
Lirim Hajrullahu, last year's most outstanding special teams player in the West, puts it through. The Bombers have a 14-7 lead. Impressive again, as mentioned. Clock chewing drive that they just had. They've used both their backs. They've used Cameron Marshall. They've used Paris Cotton. They've used basically everybody. And most impressive has been the play of Drew Willie.
Yeah, Drew Willie has been outstanding. We talked about the accuracy earlier, but also making some good decisions in terms of when to take off with the football as well. A couple of good scrambles for the Bomber quarterback.
Robert Marv came in to hand that off to Marshall there. Willie is 11 for 12 for 143. Again, this is a Bomber team that ranked 8th in the CFL, second last rushing the football against a very stout Saskatchewan D. Marcel Belfait with more words for his quarterback. There is the Winnipeg native, Nick Dembski. Big kick. Dembski. Uh-oh. Oh, no. On a perfectly placed kick by Lirim Hajrullahu. And they are going to call it a single. He stepped out in his end zone as he tried to tap dance along the sideline. That's a tough one for anybody.
We saw it on a punt earlier that Dembski fielded from Hajrullahu, and now on the kickoff where looking for that coffin corner, he's made it a real tough decision for Dembski as to whether to let the ball bounce, whether to field it. There you see Dembski chatting with special teams coordinator Bob Dice.
Even a veteran player, that's a tough decision to make at that time, whether to take it, whether to let it go for that touchback, whether if you don't touch it, it goes through the end zone. But it was angling towards that sideline. Leave it alone, it's out of bounds, get him to re-kick. Jamel Richardson snags this near the first down marker. So the Riders down 15-7, 2-minute offense now. Jamel Richardson, keep in mind, his career began here in Saskatchewan when we used to call him Jamal Richardson. And I think after about 15 games, he went to someone who said, by the way, my name's Jamel.
You know, he earned the right to be called whatever he wanted over the course of his career. League's most prolific receiver from 2008 through 2012.
Durant has time, and Richardson fell down Slip near the Winnipeg 40. Richardson had an ACL, the lateral collateral ligament tear. Took him away from football for a whole year. Some people didn't think he'd come back. He did.
And there you see the numbers, and his rise really in Montreal coincided with the arrival of Mark Trestman.
Durant with a deep drop, slings it out, and Chris Getzlaf has his first catch. 13-yard pickup. The far side for Getzlaf, looking for a bounce-back season this year. Coming off a 1,000-yard season in 2013, the Grey Cup season here. Only caught 36 footballs for 591 yards last year and just 1 touchdown. Again, the Riders today without Weston Dressler. Dressler, undisclosed injury, not able to play today, so missing one of their weapons. Now Durant, kill shot here. Ryan Smith is going to score! Touchdown, Riders! What did Darian Durant say about Ryan Smith? Dressler 2.0.
Well, there was no way that the Riders were going to change their entire offense with Weston Dressler out. You know, so much of it runs through number 7. He's going to get a lot of looks. But they have that confidence in Ryan Smith stepping into that spot. Keep an eye here on number 33, the running back, Jerome Messam, does a nice job on that right side, picking up the blitz off the edge, providing the time for Darian Durant to step up and throw that strike.
Well,
Mr. Smith.
They've talked about the comparisons to Weston Dressler as Chris Milo puts it through. And you know, it's a tough one. Weston Dressler's become a legend around here, but the similarities, the comparisons are striking. Very similar stature. They both come from North Dakota. One went to University of North Dakota, went to North Dakota State. That's Ryan Smith, played with the Bison. And he has his first touchdown as a Rough Rider. And by the way, any concerns about that tendon and Darian Durant's elbow? Don't worry.
I think he erased a lot of doubts with that toss.
Smith also, look at that. Darian Durant's emotion. Wants to become the first starting quarterback to win 2 Grey Cups with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Ryan Smith, though, suffered a concussion in the preseason. Was questionable. As you see, Weston Dressler, not sure when he is back, but Smith coming back from a hit in the preseason. Touchdown number 1. 1-point game. Veltung again, trying to find the wall. Now he slips out. Veltung chased down up near the 40-yard line, and another nice return. They have found a return man here in Winnipeg, have they not?
Well, he's trying to keep that promise he made to his mom a few minutes ago.
Yes.
Told her after having that punt return TD called back by an illegal block, he'd get one for his mama.
Now, normally they'd have Troy Studemeyer as well, the great returner. He is on the 6-game injured list, so Veltung makes the team and makes some plays here tonight. 1:15 to go before halftime. Back and forth these teams go. Drew Willie out of the pocket and brought down. And Rory Conop, new nose tackle. Son of Rod Conop, the great Edmonton Eskimo.
Saskatchewan number 3, 10-yard penalty, first down.
But after that, a penalty against the Rough Riders. Again, illegal contact, Wayne. Takes away a great play from Rory Conop, the rookie. Drew Willie. Great numbers so far in this one. Empties the backfield, sends out his receivers, and again has Adams on the far sideline in front of the Bomber bench. 7-yard pickup.
Drew Willie chipping away here. Largely aside from Conniff getting to him on the previous play, which ended up being a sack that went for naught. But the offensive line doing a pretty good job of keeping number 5 clean.
Willie fires for Cotton. Third down and 3 now. News from Vancouver, not good news for our Canadian women. A loss to England at 2-1 in the quarterfinal. England moves on, and Canada is now out of the FIFA Women's World Cup. Hairolahu, high kick, no yards here. Dembski pushed back, but a 15-yarder. .50 seconds to go, first half. CFL Fantasy kicks off with a brand new season. Go to tsn.ca/CFL Fantasy to set your roster for a chance to win a trip to the Grey Cup.
Number 27, 15-yard penalty, first down.
And a Joseph Abboud suit from Moores. Every pick counts. Make yours today. So the Riders get a no yards call. Will scrimmage from their 31-yard line. Chance to go into the locker room with the lead. Lots of motion here for Durant. Stays in the pocket. Gives it off to Rob Bagg. Bagg makes a couple of players miss and is very close to a first down. Took 7 seconds off the clock with a 7-yard gain.
We saw a nice execution.
Saskatchewan.
As Saskatchewan went no huddle on their previous possession. Durant threw the quick strike to Ryan Smith for that touchdown.
Well, no doubt this Rider team goes as Darian Durant goes. Again, started the season 8-2, then went out with injury last year. The Riders then limped to the postseason. 7 of their next 9 games were losses. He has owned the Blue Bombers. Won the last 3 against Winnipeg. 8 of his last 9. He's 11-2 lifetime against Winnipeg. 2nd and 2. Looks one way, goes the other. High toss, dangerous toss. And Buckner was there. Could not get the pick. So the Blue Bombers actually will get the ball back. 37 seconds to go. Is Darian Durant all right?
He's not all right.
He's not all right
for a trainer.
Looks like something wrong with his foot. He had his toe stepped on, his foot stepped on here, and he's in pain. Of all things. Right there.
250 pounds of Greg Peach in cleats. Landing right on the toes.
Well, for all of the domination he's had over the Blue Bombers, he's also been hurt against these Blue Bombers last September, and not sure how serious this is, but certainly concerning. Game 1, Darian Durant looking so forward to this. And they do have the best insurance policy in football, however.
Well, you call them the best insurance policy, but if I'm Darian Durant or any other starting quarterback, when my team signs Kevin Glenn to be my backup, I get real nervous.
Yeah, because
you look
he could
at
be the
history,
starter.
because every time he goes somewhere as a backup, he ends up playing.
Yeah. There he is, Kevin Glenn. 7th team now. Again, I guess if you could count Ottawa, which drafted him, he never did play there, but lifetime numbers are extraordinary for the little guy from Detroit. has never won the Grey Cup. Former Bomber, Ticat, Stamp, Lion. Still, Darian Durant is down.
Kevin Glenn, the ultimate insurance policy as he is known.
Glenn not warming up, nor is Brad Smith. They're punting the football away, and the clock will expire before halftime, but we're going to have to see who is going to go in the second half. Likely Glenn if Durant is out.
And Kevin Glenn, as you see the numbers, leading all CFL quarterbacks in wins since 2010 with 45. Over the last 5 years, by the way, Glenn 112 touchdown passes, which is actually 10 more than Darian Durant.
They are asking for the card here.
Yeah, well, we saw the toes get stepped on, but they looked like they were examining the lower leg, the ankle, when they came out to check him. And the way Darian Durant kind of stood and didn't want to move at all, and you just wonder if his foot got planted by Pete stepping on him and if there was some torque there because he was moving.
Could be ankle, could be Achilles, could be anything down there. We're going to try to get a report, but man, already in the first week of this season, we have had some serious situations surrounding quarterbacks. First in Montreal, today earlier with Mike Riley, and now, of all things, Darian Durant.
Yeah, I mean, Durant's reaction. Well, it was very interesting because he took a couple of steps and hopped, and then he just stood. And then he just stood there.
Durant's numbers tonight in his comeback game as he gives the thumbs up. 13 of 18, 162, 2 touchdowns. Who would have thought this in his first game back? Ray Early, boots sit. Belton wrapped up and brought down. 25 to go before halftime. A slugfest offensively here early on when you consider both teams weren't moving the football very well. It was scoreless for a long time. Late first quarter, the Bombers strike, and now both teams going back at it. I'm pretty sure we're going to see Kevin Glenn in the second half.
It certainly looks like it. Again, the history of Kevin Glenn, very mysterious. It was just a matter of time.
I understand that, but again, of all times,
yeah, I mean,
of all games,
we joke about the jinx, but the reality is, again, this is why the Saskatchewan Roughriders went out and got Kevin Glenn.
And he returns, of course, to where it all started for him. The former Illinois State quarterback began his career with the Roughriders and is back with the Roughriders and will be back likely on the field in the second half, carrying their hopes on his shoulder pads, because Darian Durant looks like he's out of this ball game. Again, in Montreal the other night, we saw Jonathan Crompton go down, Dan Lefevre earlier today, Mike Riley in Edmonton. And now Darian Durant is out. One of the storylines here is the Blue Bombers lead 15-14. And now they have to go to 1B. Kevin Glenn, the longtime quarterback in the CFL, came over in the offseason and now will be pressed into action on night one. This kick is out of bounds. Bombers deferred to the second half. They will play against the wind. Will have the wind in the fourth. And already week one, and the list of injured quarterbacks grows.
Ball we spot on the 45-yard line.
Well, Montreal in a real tough situation coming through that week one, losing both Crompton and Lefevre. Jonathan Crompton day-to-day with a bruised throwing shoulder. Kevin Glenn gets a nice welcome back to Regina from the Rider fans.
Well, Kevin Glenn's been there and done that before as a starter, as a backup in emergency relief. He does this, even though it was tipped. First pass complete. Ryan Smith, who had one of the touchdowns in the first half from Darian Durant, into Bomber territory.
Good concentration here from the receiver. Smith to stay with that one. Been tipped by the linebacker, Khalil Bass.
Kevin Glenn, 15th year in the Canadian Football League. 36-year-old. Hands it off to the rumbler, Jerome Messam. Messam to the 20. And he'll score. Touchdown, Jerome Messam.
You know, I thought it on one of Jerome Messam's earlier carries in this ball game, and now I'm absolutely convinced he's faster. He's faster than he was a year ago. He's got some jump in his step. Had a short run earlier where he had a great burst. His acceleration looked fantastic. And here you see it not just to the line of scrimmage and through the hole, but he ran away from some fast people at the end of this play.
Ryan Smith supplying the blocking on DeMond Washington. The celebration after. Jerome Messam pumps it up. And Corey Chamberlain talked about the shape Jerome Messam is. If you can get the kind of play that Jerome Messam supplied in Edmonton when he was the most outstanding Canadian player in the league, you're going to get something. 53-yard touchdown. And the Saskatchewan Roughriders are going for two here. They have their first lead of the ball game. Penalty flags. 2-point convert to Chris Getzlaff. So the Brampton native.
Yeah, top 50. Recheck that shit.
Who obviously did not agree with the voters in the top 50.
Jerome, I didn't vote.
Offside. Winnipeg number 20. Convert is good. The 5 yards will be applied on the kickoff.
2-point convert counts. Riders now have a 7-point lead. Jerome Messam, keep doing this. He'll be in the top 10. Touchdown of his career, 53. Anthony Allen on the right. He was like a human cannonball there.
Well, absolutely fantastic. You're calling them thunder and lightning. I think Messam supplied his own lightning.
Yes, he is. Thunderbolt. Belton brings it up to the 29-yard line. So all the adversity for the Roughriders, and they come out and they do this.
Yeah, a great job by this offensive line going 1, 2, 3, and I really like the block by the middleman here. The guard, Chris Best. He's the guy who's got to get up to second level, get on that linebacker in space, secures the outside with his tackle. Adcock gets to the linebacker, swallows him up. Makes life a whole lot easier for Jerome Messam.
And then the 2-point convert. Again, the 2-point attempts now move to the 3-yard line. We're going to see a lot more of those this year. Drew Willie to the star of the first half, Paris Cotton. Blue Bombers now trailing for the first time in this ball game. Let's go to the sideline for an update. Here's Lee.
Well, we already know about the injury to Darian Durant, but defensively, some problems going on right now. Shea Emery did not return for the second half. He is done. That means Kevin Regenbald has been forced to play middle linebacker. He was in there on that first play for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Also, Keenan McDougall, he left early on in this football game. He's out. So the Saskatchewan Roughriders missing two key Canadians on their defensive core, guys.
Already game one, key personnel battered for Saskatchewan. 3-man rush. Willie hangs in out of the backfield. Michel Pierre Pombriand. And picked up 9 yards. And will move the chains.
You heard Paul LaPolice talk a little bit at halftime about the importance of those outlet routes to the backs and underneath passing game. Keeping it short, getting the ball out of Drew Willie's hands. Helping make the job of the offensive line a little bit easier where they don't have to sustain the blocks forever. Keeping that D-line off balance in terms of their pass rush. They can't just always be exploding upfield when they have to pursue the play going the other way.
Quick release again for Drew Willie up near the 50-yard line. It's Denmark. This is a Bomber team that gave up 71 sacks. Do the math last season. That's 3.9 sacks per game. They've only given up one here so far tonight, John Chick.
Yeah, and obviously part of the issue last year was the performance of that offensive line. Part of the issue was playing from behind so often through really the last 2/3 of the season, being forced into passing situations.
Second down and 3. Riders showing blitz, and they come forward. Stop Pomberian in his tracks. Huge stop, forcing the Bombers to bring out their kick team.
Well, that's a complete key breaker. Giving the ball to Pomberian. Carries for him are about as common as unicorn.
And does not carry the ball very much, usually on the receiving end of a flare out or a swing pass.
The Rider defense completely ready for that draw to the fullback, though.
Big kick. Dembski cutting back. Nick Dembski. Friends and family from Winnipeg watching the first-round pick tonight. Saskatchewan's D comes up big. Riders leading 22-15. Locker room, Kevin Glenn orchestrating a drive for a touchdown by Jerome Messam. Now they have the ball back again. Glenn in relief of the injured Darian Durant. After an illegal block call, here comes Allen now. Anthony Allen, look out! Foot race to the midfield stripe and finally knocked out of bounds. And suddenly, Saskatchewan's run game has come alive here.
Well, Darian Durant is down, and the Saskatchewan Roughriders are going back to their bread and butter. The ground game. This has been their identity over the last couple of years. Look at the O-line getting a body on a body. That one was a little slower to develop. They had to sustain those blocks. Center Dan Clark doing a nice job holding it down here at the point of attack.
Allen, last year's second leading rusher in the Canadian Football League. Averaged 5.5 yards a carry, had 48 that time. Kevin Glenn, penalty flag down, threw it away, likely a holding call probably here. Saskatchewan, though.
You're probably also going to see illegal contact on the D.
2 flags down.
Holding, Saskatchewan number 64. Illegal contact, Winnipeg number 20. We'll replay the play from the previous line of scrimmage.
Johnny Adams, first game with the Blue Bombers out of Michigan State. Well, the Riders' run game comes to the fore here. Not surprising, the Bombers' rush defense last in the Canadian Football League last year. And every game the Riders played against Winnipeg, they ran all over the Blue Bombers. Averaged 180 yards on the ground. Glenn hangs in. Oh, what a catch on the far side by Jerome Messam. Got a bit of a redwood on his shoulder this season, Jerome Messam.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders do a nice job making use of their two-headed monster in the backfield. 2 big bodies. If they can keep these 2 guys fresh, give them real advantage in terms of grinding down that defense.
So Messam goes to the sideline. Anthony Allen back in the backfield. 2 backs. Allen again. Perfect so far. Getzlaff.
Veteran Getzlaff just knowing exactly what was needed there for first down yardage, hooking it up over the middle. Here we'll see the measurement, another of the more subtle and less talked about rule changes that only the officials, only the referee can request a measurement. Coach is no longer able to call for the measurement.
Well, they want to bring more up tempo and they want to speed the games up. Also, seeing more no huddle, more up-tempo, calling your play in. That has become part of the game in the CFL this season under these revamped rules. Glenn has everybody moving. Hands it off to Allen, who cuts back, and Anthony Allen picks his way for about 8 yards. How about this guy, though? Wherever he goes, whoever he plays for, the Energizer Bunny just keeps on ticking.
Well, he'll step in for sure. Here, one thing I want to keep an eye on as this game goes on. Watch for the motion here. Nick Dembski is the slot, number 3 to the boundary. He's going to come around in motion. Slot back sweep is a bread and butter kind of play for him. Nobody really covered it that time as they hand the ball to Allen. But watch for them to set that play up to the rookie as this game goes on.
Another completion. Jamel Richardson. Kevin Glenn starting to dissect this Bomber defense. On the ground, in the air. Jacques Chapdelaine, the offensive coordinator. Mixing and matching plays here. A lot of variety. 4-yard gain. And it's 1st and 10 at the Winnipeg 34. Remember, this drive started at the Saskatchewan 8-yard line. Oh, bad snap. Glenn picks it up, though, and chucks it. Has a man, and it's almost caught by Rob Bagg, but almost also picked off. Desperate toss there from Kevin Glenn.
And a good recovery here for Glenn. As you see the replay, you'll have a challenge here in terms of possible pass interference by number 25, Bruce Johnson, at the end of that play. Was he in early on Rob Bagg?
Saskatchewan is challenging that there was defensive pass interference on the play. We'll review the play.
Talked about Saskatchewan and their O-line as well. Dan Clark's the center, no Dominic Picard now. He's with Winnipeg. And the bad snap that came back. What do you think about this play?
Well, to me, as I look at that replay, I'm not convinced that Bruce Johnson plays the ball at all and really plays the receiver, makes his wrap on the receiver just a split second before the ball arrives. It's close, no question. This might be our best look yet.
Second-year Blue Bomber Bruce Johnson out of Miami, played in the National Football League. The Giants. Here's the verdict.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. No defensive pass interference. Second down.
Applause from the defender.
And again, it's a close call, and I'll buy them sticking with that one.
Crowd seeing it now on the scoreboard. You hear their reaction.
Well, the crowd is a little biased.
Yeah. I think with 33,000 all in green. Glenn with a rush in his face. Incomplete this time for Getzlaff. So Chris Milo returns to the field. Milo coming off a career low year. Field goal percentage, 71.4%. Try to make this a 10-point game midway through the third quarter. Vanier Cup champion with Laval, a 4th-round pick by Saskatchewan in 2011, and of course the Grey Cup champion in 2013. From the 40. With the wind.
Chris Randall just a bit early on that one.
Not sure what flew faster, Randall in or the flag out.
Yeah, if you're trying to be subtle, you can't really go airborne over the offensive line.
Offside. Winnipeg number 8. 5-yard penalty. Third down repeated.
So it was 3rd and 10, so it'll be 3rd and 5. They'll still kick, but now from the 35. He's doing the worm. Over Calgary Stampeder.
Yeah, if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Rob Bagg doing the holding for Milo.
Don't hit the center in the head.
And this one is wide right. So a miss. We'll see how that costs the Riders here in Regina.
Now, did you hear the rumor that I heard that if they break the record again this year for food collected, that Schultz is going to shave his head?
I did. Is that a rumor you're starting?
That's what I heard.
That. Oh, I like that rumor. Drew Willie, Nick Moore, big gain up to midfield. You know the thing about Schultz? He would look like Bull from Night Court. But you know something? He's got such a great heart, he wouldn't mind. He wouldn't mind.
I think he might do it.
And congratulations to Purelator and Schultz for all the work they do to help feed those in need. Drew Willie just got hammered.
Terrius George. The middle.
Again, has only given up 1 sack by John Chick. First and 10. Delay draw. Good play here. Paris Cotton. Another shake. Close to the first down marker. Had to get to the 45.
You can tell in Marcel Belfay's game plan coming into this ball game. A fair bit of screen draw, again, designed to take advantage of a team that has a number of aggressive upfield pass rushers.
2nd and 1. They will move the yardsticks. 5 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Again, the story of this game, the Riders coming back and having to do it without Darian Durant, his first game back after his elbow injury last year. Looking so forward to today, playing so well in the first half, and then leaving the game with what appeared to be an ankle leg injury. Terrible news for the Riders, but they do have a great backup in Kevin Glenn.
We're seeing a lot of the camaraderie, the professional respect from other quarterbacks around the league too, taking to Twitter to show their support for the guys who have gone down with injuries in the early part of the season.
Well, the brethren understand this position as Cotton now shaking again to the 30, to the 20. Unbelievable run by Paris Cotton. Unstoppable in this game.
Well, Cotton gives you a little bit of everything. Speed, shiftiness, strong on his feet.
He's like a ghost, just waving at air.
This outstanding lateral movement. You see a couple of those quick jukes. Just 90-degree cuts without losing speed at all.
31-yard scamper. Inside the red zone again. The Bombers have been perfect here. Looking for Denmark, thrown behind him, a one-hopper, so it will be 2nd down and 10. The Bombers can still get to the 4-yard line and then go 1st and goal, if need be. 8-point ball game. It's been a good one, back and forth. These two teams have gone. Marvin Adams, top of your screen. Chris Bastian in motion at the bottom. Willie drops over the top. Hit hard, though, is Marshall. Now breaking outside. Cameron Marshall scoring. Touchdown. Another one for Cam Marshall.
Surprising to me, given the way that the Winnipeg running backs have hurt Saskatchewan in the passing game, and particularly in this territory. We saw the touchdown pass in the first quarter. to Paris Cotton. But you're going to see on the right side of your screen, Marshall comes out of the backfield. No one picks him up. Too easy a completion. And then breaking a tackle to make his way into the end zone.
Well, we talked about the Riders' thunder and lightning. How about the Blue Bombers with their own version? Twin tailbacks doing great things. So the two-point convert could tie things up from the 3. Handing it off and getting 2 is Marshall again from Robert Marv. And we're back square again, tied at 23. Close one at Mosaic. Opening night for the Bombers and Riders, and they're living up to the billing.
Cotton needed a little bit of a break after that highlight reel run. He was catching his breath, and Marshall decided to work quickly in his absence.
2.5 to go, third quarter. Another kick that is going to bounce out. Well, we talked about the injuries. And of course, Darian Durant is out. There he is on crutches. In your wildest imagination in this game, you would not have thought that would be possible here. The way the story was unfolding for Darian Durant, and then Travis Lulay tweeting out his best wishes. And also for Mike Riley earlier today, lower body injury as well.
Well, nobody understands it better than the other guys that play the position. And what it means, there it is from Bo Levi Mitchell. Hope Durant is okay, hopefully something less than an Achilles.
I think the entire league, if you're a fan of this league, you wish both quarterbacks the very best here in what has been a trying day.
13 in the formation because they didn't have
cast on.
Okay.
So there were 13 in the formation after that illegal kick.
No substitution. 13 men in the formation. Saskatchewan. First down repeated.
So again, basically from an offensive point of view, you have to declare what your personnel is going to be. You can't have 13 guys on the field and run one off late because it makes it impossible for the defense to try to match personnel packages. So if somebody's coming in, somebody else has to be on their way out.
Riders will have the wind for 2.5 in this third quarter. The Bombers have it in the fourth, but the wind seems to be subsiding a little bit here as the sun is setting. And around. Nick Dembski. There goes Dembski. Nick Dembski down the sideline in his first game in the Canadian Football League. The Winnipegger grew up watching the Blue Bombers, drafted by the Roughriders. The Manitoba Bison has a big gain.
And he comes up favoring that shoulder. But a heck of a run. Remember, we told you earlier, watch for that motion. They're going to set up the slot back sweep. And there it is to Dembski. And you see why this guy was the first receiver off the board on draft day.
Well, what might be another injured Rough Rider. They are falling like flies here. Durant, Emery, McDougall. Glenn rolls, time, deep, in traffic, jump ball. Looks like the Bombers have it. Johnny Adams, first Blue Bomber game, first CFL interception. And the first turnover of this game.
A heck of an athletic play by Johnny Adams to go up and get this one. Kevin Glenn takes that shot deep. Ryan Smith had a step, but that ball just hung up there long enough to allow Adams to make up that half-step deficit.
Well, the Riders have pinned the Blue Bombers, however, even with the interception. This is an awfully long field. Johnny Adams first. 13th man, loud again. Full house here at Mosaic. 109-yard field. Looked like it was offside, way offside. Julian Feoli-Godino was about 5 yards offside.
Offside. Winnipeg number 83. First down repeated.
In this situation, the Rider faithful are going to amp up the noise, see if they can cause a time count, another offside, because guys can't hear the cadence, whatever they can do.
They'll hand it off. There he goes again. Paris Cotton gets them out of a hole. Brought down from behind by former Bomber Alex Hall. Paris Cotton has been money.
Well, it just seems like whatever problems the Rider defense has attempted to cause. Nice block there from Suk Chung, the right guard. Whatever problems the Rider defense has been able to cause, Paris Cotton has been the answer.
Last minute, third quarter. Tie ball game. Opening night in Regina. There he goes again behind cover. Wrapped up by Tavon Clark, Towson University. Also played at Virginia Tech. His first game with the Roughriders. Drew Willie. Legend was born last year with Winnipeg early on. Such a great start to the season, 5-1. And the Bombers hit a wall. In motion. Willie will throw. Here's the rush. Decides to go. Head down. John Chick from behind. Kevin Regenbald was there. Regenbald getting forced into play here. The former All-Canadian out of Sherbrooke with the injury to Shea Emery. That is the third quarter. And we're all tied up at 23 apiece in a game that's got so much ebb and flow. Dramatic storylines and an injured quarterback. Fourth quarter, sweat with everybody else. I get a feeling you like to be playing.
Yeah, it's a little weird being here at a Rider game and not actually being out on the field for once, but it's pretty cool.
Back and forth they go, these two teams. Lirim Hairelahu. And
Ryan Smith.
It's Ryan Smith with Dembski up. Let's talk about what's going on with you and in Indianapolis and your chances of making it in the National Football League.
Yeah, I mean, I got back here into town probably about a week ago, I guess. I was down there for 8 weeks throughout their off-season program, the mini camps and OTAs and everything like that. And honestly, I had a great time down there. It's such an unreal experience, and just looking to try and learn more and more every day.
What's the biggest difference you're finding so far, Ben?
The yard off is a little different. I think just the amount of time you have to read the play and everything in front of you, that's kind of what's affecting me the most right now.
I know a lot of you O-linemen, as you did here, love having guys. Well, Corey Sheets was here, Anthony Allen and Jerome Messam. This is the kind of game that you lick your lips for, where there's a lot of running.
Yeah, especially when it's getting tight here. You know, the last 10 minutes, you're going to look to see both teams trying to run the ball here. And this is just when this Saskatchewan line is really going to take over.
Messam in the backfield again. Kevin Glenn marks it out. Second down and 7. Bombers loaded up and bring it. Glenn lets it go, and what a catch! Jamel Richardson.
I think you get these veteran receivers, and everybody worries so much about them slowing down and talking about what they can't do. I think it gets overlooked sometimes what a guy like Jamel Richardson can still bring to the table, making the tough catches like that.
Well, how many times did we see that from another veteran, Anthony Calvillo, when he was with the Alouettes? Now he's in Saskatchewan, where it all began for him. Riders moving the football now, early fourth, against the wind. Glenn again, out for Rob Bang, makes the catch. Watched by Matt Buckner. So all the talk here in Saskatchewan, and I know you're obviously very close to this football team, with some changes in the offseason, but mostly the fuel that was ignited from what happened here last year, trying to get back to the Grey Cup.
Yeah, I mean, that's this team's goal every single year. So I mean, 14, obviously the goal wasn't achieved, and I think they did what they needed to in the offseason to get back at it.
Coming down. Coming down.
2nd down and 3. Quick hitter, far side, high toss, Richardson again.
So give us a scouting report. You were out there with him in practice every day. Levy Adcock is out there replacing you at right tackle. Tell the fans a little bit about the new guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's the real deal. I mean, he's a CFL right tackle. I mean, everything he does, the footwork, you know, he's a solid player out there, and he's only going to get better every game that he plays. I mean, the little bit of reps that he did get last year, he excelled, and he's just going to get better as the season goes on.
1st and 10, Riders again. They'll run the football once again. You know, we have a lot of viewers in the United States and actually in Great Britain and Ireland now, Ben. But, you know, being a local boy here, maybe you can give people an idea of what it's like to play here and to be here and to have basically every part of your wardrobe green.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly something you can't really tell. You just have to be here. You have to take it in. You know, Neil Hughes always said you really have to be from here to truly appreciate everything that's going on. And it's just a tremendous atmosphere. And when you're a player that's from here and able to actually play for the team, it's an unreal experience.
Kevin Glenn changes it up here on 2nd and 9. Little dump pass this time. Once again, it's Messam. Look out! Will they stop him down the sideline? Thrown out of bounds. What a night for Jerome Messam. You know how tough he is to stop.
Yeah, he's one of those running backs. I mean, him and Ant, both of them are tough to bring down, and it's not just like they're big guys. They can also move well in space and hit the hole. They're both great in protection. I mean, those two guys going 1-2 out of the backfield, I mean, that's something else.
Penalty on the play. I have to ask you, and I don't think I asked you last year, what did you do with the Grey Cup when you got it?
Holding. Saskatchewan,
you know, the Grey Cup was an unreal time. I had it for a day down here with the family, and we just went around a few places to get pictures. Some of the neighbors came over, and throughout the off season, it was up in Saskatchewan. I was up there a couple other weekends as well, and I mean, taking it to hockey games and everything else. The entire province really did get to see it, and that was a great time.
Grey Cup champions, of course, here at Mosaic, beating Hamilton. And Zach Anderson jumped. He said the O-line moved.
Procedure. Saskatchewan number 58.
Right.
5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
Do you like some of these new rules?
I mean, I think it's going to take a little while. Take a little while for the players to adjust, and then, you know, at the same time, coaches are going to adjust how you see the game called. I think the biggest, obviously, that convert and the 2-point. That's something here near the end we might see come into play.
Yeah, you have to do your math here now.
Yeah.
Corey Chamberlain was saying, if you see me on the sideline, my hands are full. That means I'm counting with my fingers. 1st and 15 now. Great protection. Now he has to dance. Look out. Kevin Glenn just pitches it out. Incomplete toss from Kevin Glenn.
And pretty good downfield coverage forces Kevin Glenn. Have to wait this one out. Nothing comes free as Bryant Turner gets there to force the throwaway.
8 for 12 right now for Kevin Glenn. 73 yards in relief of Darian Durant out. With an apparent ankle, lower leg injury, on crutches on the sideline. 2nd and 15. Oh, what a catch again from who else? The super slot, Jamel Richardson. Right at the 1st down marker, it looks like. Looks like they're going to be a little short. They mark it at the 12. Had to get to the 10.
You see Richardson in that zone coverage, wraps around the defender, working back into the hole to give Kevin Glenn a target. As you see, came back maybe just a little too far.
So the drive will stall here. The Riders have a chance to take another lead. 19-yard field goal attempt from Chris Milo. And an earlier miss from 35. This against the wind, but it's just a chippy through. There it is. Van Heenan, good luck down south.
Thanks
Great to see you. Appreciate it.
We'll be watching for you.
Take care.
What?
Darren talked about American quarterbacks coming up to the CFL, not being prepared for their first starts, and basically not doing extremely well. Willie really took that to Winnipeg, and of course had that strong first season, and is looking to do the same thing in his second year as a starter.
Strong arm caught by Clarence Denmark.
Perfect pass by Drew Willie.
Blue Bomber bombing it downfield, and another injury here, this time to Denmark. A 1,000-yard receiver last year, a CFL All-Star, and one of the best clutch guys in the game.
Just a slide protection up front from that offensive line to hold solid.
Like he got sandwiched. Matt Webster and Weldon Brown. So another injured player. They attend to Clarence Denmark. 9:36 to go here in the fourth. Riders lead 26-23. Hot night. Late June. Opening night. Bombers Riders. Great game. 3-pointers so far. This guy's had a great game. Paris Cotton. Clarence Denmark taken from the field. Looked like he's okay.
Oh, such a critical piece. Clarence Denmark, one of only 3 receivers to go over 1,000 yards in the Canadian Football League last season. Expecting even bigger numbers this year of hopefully his running mate Nick Moore can stay healthy for the whole season and take a little bit of the heat off number 89.
6 yards shy of the century mark in game 1. Empties the backfield, sends out 6. And Darvin Adams with a cutback on Weldon Brown. And they go to the red zone. Down to the 20. They've been 3 for 3 from inside the 20 tonight.
Quick hitter getting it out of the hands of Drew Willie. It's been such a big part of this Winnipeg game plan here tonight.
Formation, pistol formation. Paris Cotton left side. Penalty flags fly. Weldon Brown the tackle. Looks like a holding infraction against Chris Graves.
Holding. Winnipeg number 64. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
And Chris Graves finds himself in a tough position. As a left guard, he's got to block a guy who's tough to see from this angle, but who actually outflanks him a little bit to the outside. Curious George. Tough matchup to handle at the best of times.
Brings it back outside the red zone now. 1st and 20. Pulls it back to Moore, spun close to the initial line of scrimmage, actually just inside the 20. So it'll be 2nd down again. Blue Bomber team again that has never started a season like they did last year for quite some time at 5-1. And then limped home. Didn't make the playoffs. And hasn't won in Regina in 11 tries. And to the end zone, Nick Moore, touchdown. First is a Bomber. Drew Willie now 21 of 24, over 300 yards.
And as we create the new book as to whether to go for 2 or not, 3-point lead with the touchdown. Just kick the single, make it 4, keep them out of field goal reach.
Little dance for Nick Moore. So this Blue Bomber team that hasn't won in Regina since 2004. 0 for their last 11 here. 7 minutes away from ending a long drought. Lirim Hairelahu, 32-yard point after. And that 4-point cushion has been created. But there's loads of time left. Punch, counter punch here at Mosaic tonight. Lance Moore.
Tony, Michelle, I ain't forget about y'all.
Great career in the National Football League. Nick Moore. First touchdown as a Bomber. 29 years old 2 days ago. Kristen Jackson, the flag down. And Nick Moore gives the Bombers the lead.
Well, and here what you're going to get is the safety blitzing, and what that means is if Nick Moore can get inside on his route, there's no help back there. Big hole in the middle.
Number 80.
No help for the halfback Terrell Mays. Willie's going to step up to buy enough time to escape that blitzing safety. Moore gets inside position. No help over the top. Makes it an easier throw for the quarterback.
Well, can Kevin Glenn conjure some magic here in relief of Darian Durant? Throws it over the top. Spencer Moore, the former McMaster Marauder, hauls it in.
Spencer Moore taking over that starting fullback job with the retirement. Longtime rider Neil Hughes during the offseason.
Glenn's first game back in Saskatchewan. Again, Darian Durant out of this game. Under 6 to go. 2nd and inches. Riders running game close to 200 yards, split between Messam and Anthony Allen. Who gets this carry and gets the first down.
And you see the Riders having to be always conscious of the ratio when they're juggling players in and out. You kind of see the tandem, Canadian receiver Bag and the American running back Allen coming out as the American receiver Richardson and the Canadian back Messam go back in.
First and 10 from the 22. Strong arm. Oh, what a catch. What a throw to Getzlaff. Under the 35-yard line. 14-yard pickup for Getzlaff.
And good awareness here from Getzlaff, who's going to come from the left side of your screen. So he knows he's kind of going into danger here immediately. Pulls that ball right down, tucks it and protects it before the Bombers can hit him.
Getzlaff has 4 catches. Great insurance policy. Kevin Glenn was signing by the Riders. Who would have thought week 1 they'd need him. Bashing away is Anthony Allen as the lights are on here at Mosaic now as we get close to twilight. 103 yards now for Anthony Allen. Last year's close to 1,000 yards. He's done it. Messam's done it. Field goal's not going to be good enough right now for the Riders. They've got to take it to the house. Taj Smith got them on the board. 8-yard gain on 2nd down.
Well, Corey Chamberlain talked at halftime about how comfortable he is with Kevin Glenn, the veteran, coming in at quarterback. May not have had as many reps leading up to this game is their #1 quarterback, Darian Durant, but Kevin Glenn has been around. He's seen it all. It's been a fairly seamless transition here, going to Glenn in the second half of this ball game for Saskatchewan.
Confusion in the backfield, but Glenn fires, and dropped. Jamel Richardson almost had one for the highlight reel. Coming back anyways, a hold in the backfield. Might have been center Dan Clark.
Holding. Saskatchewan number 67. That penalty is declined. Second down.
Dan Clark, the center. Got Zach Anderson right on the nose. Anderson just bull rushes straight to the gap, takes an edge. Clark unable to anchor in.
Now the anchor on that line, though. Dominic Picard, now a Blue Bomber. 5 receivers, hands it off. Messam. Hit hard. Jamal Westerman. That knockout shot to Jerome Messam as he was going down. It's the 3-minute warning signal to each side. Anybutters will be busy all day long. Full day coverage, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 a.m. Pacific on TSN. Free agent frenzy. So the ball back to the Blue Bombers. 4-point game. Speaking of free agents, one of the best free agent signings for the Blue Bombers was this guy, Stanley Bryant.
Yeah, paying off. You see the left tackle for the Bombers. 2-time CFL All-Star Stanley Bryant matched up against one of the best defensive ends in the league in John Chick. Chick got after it and got a sack early on, but Bryant was rebounded to do a pretty solid job. Keep number 97 in green. As much in check as we see anybody keep John Chick in check.
Well, can't keep this crowd in check. The decibels higher and higher, and there goes Paris Cotton for another first down. Spectacular night for Paris Cotton, 11-yard gain.
Well, getting it done with a little help from his friends. We take another look. Big Stanley Bryant working up to second level.
11 carries, 94 yards for Paris Cotton after the 10-yard scoot. Almost 9 yards a carry. And many have been of this spectacular variety. He stays in. They'll hand it off to him and pound the ground again. He gets hit hard that time by Macho Harris. Half the first down yardage.
And this is where Paris Cotton and that rebuilt Bomber offensive line have to earn their money. 2 minutes left in this ball game, a 4-point lead. Got to chew up the clock.
This is where the Bombers had a lot of troubles last year, finishing ball games.
Absolutely.
That's why they finished with a 7-11 mark after a 5-1 start. Can they close out tonight and get a rare win in Regina? 4 receivers, top of the screen. Willie looking there, now goes right. Chased down by Chick. Drew Willie gets the first down. And has a smile. The way the quarterbacks have been going down right now, you see a smile from any quarterback. That's a gesture of relief.
I think the caption that goes with this play is "Fear is a great motivator." This time John Chick breathing down your neck turns Drew Willie into about a 4.4 40-yard dash guy.
Yeah, become Usain Bolt quickly. There's Chick, there's Willie. 90 seconds in the fourth. He'll use up as much of the play clock as he can. Down to 3. Run blocking again, outside, bursts, Cotton. Right around his average of 8 and 9 yards. A 9-yard carry for Paris Cotton, over 100 yards now.
And for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and their offensive coordinator, Marcel Belfay. Some terrific signs here in week 1 to see this offense running the football successfully at crunch time. And yeah, heads up play, absolutely, by Paris Cotton to be aware that he doesn't want to get anywhere near the sidelines where you can be pushed out and have that clock stop.
Once again, it's Robert Marr, short yardage quarterback here, 2nd and 1. Plunging forward, moving the sticks, eating up the clock. Time the enemy right now for the Roughriders. Earlier today, Trevor Harris had an outstanding day in Fort McMurray for the Argos. Drew Willie has followed suit here tonight for the Blue Bombers.
Yeah, it's been a story of highs and lows for quarterbacks in the Canadian Football League in week 1. Some terrific performances, also some very concerning injuries, including Darian Durant here this afternoon.
Timeout on the field. Now the Riders need some stops. Drew Willie will try to manage this clock and try to get Winnipeg its first win of 2015. Swept by Saskatchewan a year ago. Marshall had 2 touchdowns. Riders trying to get the strip here, and he hangs on, clutching it for dear life. 42 to go.
And the fact that the Roughriders were going for the football allowed Marshall to actually stay up here, as no one actually went to wrap the defender. Everyone was just reaching for the ball. Every defender had to let the ball carrier go.
This is the biggest play right here for the Riders. They have to stop the Bombers, or Winnipeg can run it out. They're getting into victory formation here. 3,948 days since the last Winnipeg victory here in Regina. Oh, for their last 11 in Saskatchewan. Last time they won, September 5th, 2004, and the starting quarterback was Kevin Glenn for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. This will do it. 2 very different feelings tonight. The Bombers get win number 1 of 2015. The drought is over. And the Riders not only lose the game, but they lost their quarterback, Darian Durant. Well, it is time now for our Titan Player of the Game, brought to you by Nissan. Innovation that excites.
The Nissan Titan Player of the Game is none other than Paris Cotton, the central figure in the Winnipeg Blue Bombers offensive game plan today. He did it on the ground, he did it through the air. Whatever it took, Paris Cotton found a way to get it done. Monster performance, 169 yards from scrimmage, and the game's first touchdown for Paris Cotton, the Nissan Titan Player of the Game.
Brought to you by Nissan, official vehicle of the CFL. Well, week 1 is